Alright, welcome to Canning the Cooking. Today we're going to be canning some mango. Something I've been wanting to do for a while. It's very easy to do. I just followed a basic recipe out of my ball book. It's basically calling for about 10 or 12 pounds of mango. Make sure you slice and peel it first. Slicing is very important. Makes it a lot easier. You can do dices, like 1-inch chunks. I went ahead and going to start using a extra light syrup when I do my jarring. Everybody's calling for extra light syrup on a lot of the fruit, just so that way it's not so sweet. And if you're just trying to watch your sugars in general, it does help out a little bit. So I do got about 5.5 cups of water boiling right now. I got my syrup in there, and it's already going. It's ready to go. I do have some pepper flakes here that I'm going to add to about half of my jar. But what I'm doing now that my simple syrup is ready, I'm going to go ahead and put my mango inside there, and that'll start getting the fruit kind of warm through and some of the sugars put back into it. Always use stainless steel. Just gonna give it a quick little mix here. And while all this stuff was getting ready, I got all my jars getting sterilized in the pot next to me. So I'm going to go ahead and start pulling those out here in a second. I want to make sure I get this fruit nice and coated with the simple syrup. Now I did not add any lemon juice to it. Mango has an acidity level of about 3.5 to about 4.5. Remember, anything that's over 4.8, you want to add some lemon juice to it. Mango is like right on that tip. Yeah, my jars are ready to go. Sterilized. Just using pint jars here today. I think they're gonna come out really good. Using wide mouth. Alright, so we're back now into the jarring portion. A little bit more interesting and a little more difficult than I expected. The book did call for you to put everything in chunks. Now I'm seeing why. I wanted to go with wedges so it looks prettier. Trial and error, right? That's what we're here for. That's why we watch these videos. So as you can see that some of them, they're very long, which is great because that's what I want. I want that elongated look. But you'll have a few gaps in between. So that's when you gotta get the old gloves on and get dirty. You have to squeeze a couple of them in there. I'm not packing them too hard because I don't want the fruit to get smashed. But I do have all my gaps, or most of my gaps, with fruit. And in my house, these mangoes are not going to last a year. I know most people say, how long does, when you can something, how long does it last? Well, mangoes don't last very long anyway. So they're going to look pretty when they're done. And then we're going to start eating them. Now I have been eating a couple on the side. I didn't record that though. And I like doing that extra light syrup. Doesn't make things as sticky, and honestly, you can do any type of taste testing you like during the time you're jarring everything up. And it looks like I'm gonna get 10. I think the recipe calls for 9 jars, but looks like I got 1 extra. It's gonna be just fine. Get this last one to home somewhere around here. Since you are working with simple syrups, you are going to get a little sticky. You're not going to get away from it. I always recommend having some gloves on hand. And that is it. These are all our jars ready to go. I don't have a lot of laundry to do. I like to use a lot of towels, if you guys can tell. Take these 2 jars. Alright. Now that that's all done, let's get to the juicing. As you can see, they all look pretty good. That's gonna look fantastic when it's done. And as I promised before, a couple of these are gonna get a little bit of a pepper flake. Just because I like it like that. Alright, so 5 and 5. Perfect. I'm glad I'm counting today. Go ahead and start ladling in your simple syrup. Then I'll come back to you guys when it's time to put them in the can. Alright, so now we're into the next step after we got everything bottled up. Want to kind of get some of the air out. Go ahead and, as they say, debubble them. This is always the part that I always have trouble with because I make a mess. Go around, hit everything up. Then you got a couple ones I try to sneak out. Then you gotta clean the rims with a little distilled vinegar, or white vinegar, whichever you have. Go ahead and get them all cleaned up. We're messing with the simple syrup, so you're definitely gonna have some spillage. I've never done this to where it was perfect. I have to do this back in the restaurant. There's that pickle okra, pickle jalapenos, some pickle onions, make our own sandwiches. That was fun. Now, if you guys like what you're seeing, go ahead and hit that like button. While you're sitting here waiting for me to put all the lids on, go ahead and hit subscribe. That way maybe next time we get a video pop up, since this is going to be our 3rd video, you guys will get a notification. And then you can see what we're going to get ready to do next. Alright, so I think that's pretty much good right there. Alright. I've had these jars out for a minute. Starting to cool off fast because I was making a mess. Trying to record. It's always fun when we're putting these lids in, getting them sterile, and it also gets the gum underneath it kind of tacky, so once they start to seal, you're good to go. And when you're putting your rings on, they don't gotta be super tight. You're just kind of getting them on so they don't fly away. Two, three, four, try to squeeze them all in here. Sometimes I have a hard time putting these on because I always try to crank them in there. Back them on just a little bit. Alright. Moment of truth. Now, I'm going to be cooking these for about 25 minutes in my canner. Because at my altitude, it asked me to cook them that way. Ooh, got one alibi. Alright, well, guess that one's gonna have to get eaten later on. So refer to your book. Jars are submerged. That's what they're calling for. There you go. Looks pretty, don't it? Alright, so after 25 minutes in the water bath, we have now pulled everything out. What it looks like. It's one small batch, and we will go ahead and let that start resting. Start letting the seals lock tight, and then get ready to enjoy. Thank you again for watching Canyon Cooking. Can you hit that like button? It's even better when you hit the subscribe. Bye.